The kingdom of Eldoria thrived under King Aldric's rule, but whispers of an ancient curse loomed over the throne. One fateful night, a hooded seer appeared in the great hall, her voice echoing like a death knell. "Beware, O king! The throne you sit upon is cursed. On the night of the crimson moon, betrayal shall come from within, and the crown shall fall into darkness." Days passed, and Aldric tried to forget the seer's warning. But then, on the night of the crimson moon, an unnatural silence fell over the castle. The sky turned blood-red, casting an eerie glow over the kingdom. Aldric, restless, walked the dim corridors when he heard hushed voices. He followed the whispers to the war chamber. What he saw turned his blood cold. His most trusted advisors, cloaked in darkness, were plotting his downfall. "Tonight, the king dies," one of them whispered. Aldric's heart pounded. The prophecy was coming true. Aldric's mind raced. If he confronted them now, he would be outnumbered. He needed proof of their treachery. He turned to leave but felt a presence behind him. A sharp whisper slithered through the darkness. "You should not have come here, your majesty." Before he could react, a blade flashed in the moonlight. Aldric barely dodged the assassin's strike, the dagger scraping against his armor. He stumbled back, drawing his sword as the assassin lunged again. The battle had begun. Aldric fought fiercely, but the assassin was swift. He barely managed to parry the relentless strikes. Knowing he couldn't hold out forever, he kicked over a brazier, setting the tapestries ablaze. The sudden fire distracted his attacker, giving Aldric a chance to flee. He ran through the hidden corridors, his mind racing. He needed to uncover the traitor's full plan before they struck again. But as he turned a corner, he found himself face to face with someone unexpected, his own brother, Prince Cale, sword drawn. "Going somewhere, brother?" Cale sneered. The betrayal ran deeper than he had imagined. Aldric's breath hitched. His own brother, the one he had trusted above all, was the mastermind. "You always had everything, Aldric," Cale spat. "The throne, the people's love. But tonight, it all ends." Cale lunged, and their swords clashed in the dim corridor. The battle was fierce, neither willing to yield. With every strike, Aldric realized the depth of his brother's hatred. As Cale prepared a fatal blow, Aldric twisted, using Cale's momentum against him. The prince stumbled, and Aldric plunged his sword deep into his chest. Cale gasped, eyes filled with shock and regret. "It was never meant to be yours," he whispered before collapsing. Aldric stood over his fallen brother, the weight of betrayal heavier than any crown. Aldric stood amidst the silence. The rebellion had been crushed, but at what cost? His own brother lay dead by his hand, and the words of the seer echoed in his mind. "Betrayal shall come from within." With heavy steps, he returned to the throne room, bloodied and weary. He sat upon the throne, staring at the crown he had fought so hard to keep. But as he placed it upon his head, a chilling whisper filled the air. "The curse is not broken, your majesty, it has only just begun." Aldric's blood ran cold. The shadows of betrayal still lurked within the kingdom, and the cursed throne awaited its next victim. The prophecy was far from over. The kingdom of Eldoria remained unaware of the dark fate that lingered. Though Aldric had survived the night, the curse had not been lifted. The throne would always demand a price. And in the hidden corners of the castle, unseen eyes watched, waiting for the next betrayal. The story was far from over.